Roadside service with WAP Tech. Mythical Java. On 2 of my videos. One of them about dead demonic monsters and people not looking up stuff that's real. I'm going to give a couple of examples I didn't give in the previous video. And also on my Sovereign Citizens video. I have several of them. Explaining to sovereign citizens, if any of them actually will listen anymore, because they're all conditioned, like everybody else I deal with, to ignore contradictory information. Someone commented, dormant ideas NIQ, whatever NIQ stands for. So donks, what do you do when you have been wronged and do have a case, but, and then he goes off on the standard group of people you have to say are running the planet so that you can look like an idiot, and that they abuse the law and deny your right to a trial. Concerning the fact that you can just simply demand to have a trial at a different venue, it's really hard to get denied a right to a trial everywhere. You can even appeal, if you really need to the state the person comes from or whatever. You can get away with forcing a trial to happen because our legal system is sometimes, unfortunately, very permissive of people filing court cases, mostly because they get to make money off of it. So blaming this on the New World Order, Freemasons, and of course for some reason you decided to stick in Jewish people, by misspelling it of course, so that you can get past some word filters, which YouTube doesn't have any. They just screw up the comment section. Deciding to blame it on something like that without any basis for what you're saying, I went and looked up your channel and I found your discussion area where people are complaining that you're basically just a troll. So I'm going to make this beneficial to my viewers. If your local constabulary and legal system, like my hometown, won't freaking ever prosecute someone who's blatantly guilty, sort of like on YouTube where they won't do anything because they say, we don't actually process these claims, we just rubber stamp them. When you run into something obviously unfair like that, you have to appeal to a different and preferably higher authority. And in the case of small town politics, you contact the county seat and tell them, I'm going to make this very public about me asking you to not let this legal activity happen. Please also note several incidents around the United States where police officers have done things outrageously illegal and the police officers never get prosecuted because of the thin blue line. In the city of Portland, we have a politically motivated police force that's run by a union that instead of it being to make sure the policemen are represented fairly, they basically exert undue influence and make it to where you can't prosecute anybody. If they have to, they'll go off and undo the record the police officer ever worked for the police station so that they can say categorically that no one has ever been successfully prosecuted and convicted who was a police officer. They don't really care about everybody. They don't care about anybody. See also the police officer that shot up a church and only got fired. And everybody gave him a pass, including the person running the church. Stop being fair to people who are unfair, and they'll stop being unfair because you'll punish them into not being unfair. So, dormant ideas, NIQ. No, I'm not on the side that opposes you. What I'm telling you to do is stop bitching and do something about it. And we all have to. We all have to have enough will to force it. Right now we're given the choice of Hillary Clinton, who is obviously guilty of being at least, at bare minimum, a very poor systems administrator for a mail server, and Donald Trump, who is literally an idiot. He's not even tactically capable. He's incompetent. We don't get the choice that we deserve because we don't deserve it, because we don't decide, I'm going to elect Fred over here, who's my neighbor, to city council. Why? Because he's more qualified and that's all I care about. No. It has to be whether or not bathrooms are only for males or females, even though everybody grew up in a house that had a unisex restroom unless you could afford 2 bathrooms. I go to most of my coffee shops I go to, they don't have a men's room and women's room. They just have a room that you go into, that you get into, you lock it, and that's it. It's a room. No one, a single occupancy bathroom. This isn't really a complicated thing to solve. This is sort of like complaining, we need to have the right to abortion. We need to have women not have the right to abortion. How about make it to where abortion isn't a subject anymore? And both sides scream loudly that you're abusing them when you're just trying to make it to where people can't get pregnant unless they want to. Both sides vehemently oppose solutions that take away their ability to be a force to be reckoned with sometimes. Reasonable, rational people want to solve problems. Unreasonable, irrational people want to win a fucking argument. Sorry to go off on this, but this is a common theme from trolls like Dormant Ideas and IQ. He doesn't want to solve a problem, he just wants to rabble-rouse. And foreign governments have figured out how to take advantage of that. Chinese government rabble-rouses in the United States so that you go after Falun Gong or whatever group that they don't like, so that they can tell everybody within their borders, see, we were able to reach out and screw with people in the United States and get away with it by tormenting them, by trolling them. Yes, the Chinese government just literally trolls people, harasses them publicly, frightening them. You know, like the Church of Scientology did. Like people screaming "commie" during the McCarthy era. Oh, you look for something sacrosanct you're allowed to get away with. Got to see a video a while ago where some guy was getting taunted by a woman who apparently gave a damn about him, or not, I can't tell, because everybody sounds like, or looks like they're lying. And he got slapped and beat up, and he responded by slapping back. This person with a bullhorn was screaming in someone's face. And I don't know if this person, because that's their only behavior, kind of blended in with everybody else screaming. Nobody solved the problem, and nobody thought to solve the problem in their own head. No one thought to be tactical. Everybody just wants to exert themselves and inflict themselves on other people. Just like Dormant Ideas and IQ. And everybody else who posts these comments that usually just turn into a video. You don't want to solve a problem. I'm going to be doing a video in today, or tomorrow, probably today, where I literally, like Anita Sarkeesian being part of a pyramid scheme, I'm going to explain the religious version of it, because I found a bunch of the information, and I'm going to post a video that I want everybody to mirror and grab all the text from, all of the links from. Because they lead to things that not Anita Sarkeesian, but Anita Fuentes cannot erase if you grab them and shove it in her face. Hand it over to every one of her viewers. The ones who won't leave are either too dumb or are in on it and hoping to get some of the, some of the trickle down. Now, why am I saying all this? Scams, propaganda, and raw trolling. Is it always a trinity? Well, in the United States we have an evil trinity of just two political parties, so I guess it isn't always three. Sets of three are pretty popular in humans. I wonder why. Chris Roberts. Now this is going to be hard for me to process because, or parse as the term is, because I can't tell what the guy's saying exactly, so we're all going to try to figure it out. I'm going to cut and paste it directly below. This is about skull shapes, monsters, people looking at animals when they're just a skull, not being able to extrapolate what they look like when they were alive, because most people can't. Did you know if you look at an elephant's skull, it looks like a giant cyclops head? Because the trunk is the majority of the volume of the front of the face. The eyes are off to the side, they're pushed off to the side. Yeah, there's even another skull where the breathing passage is fused with the roof of the mouth, so there's no real nostril. And all you see are two eyes that look like giant nostrils with no eyes, and has bulges here. So it looks like a creature born without eyes. Many people try to figure, well, it obviously operates exclusively by smell, and someone points out, no, it's a variety of python. That particular python didn't have nostrils. Well, I don't know about them. Herpetology isn't my specialty, but yeah, that was a thing. Oh, by the way, all you Christian fundamentalists out there that might be watching, give a damn. Yeah, a lot of the skulls you look at, you're going to have to get someone to admit what they are. Look up sloth heel. Or more accurately, sloth thigh bone. Anyway, Chris Roberts. To know all animals, we would have to know all animals. Okay? This is an assertion that's being made in a kind of circular logic thing. If we were to understand all animals in the universe, we'd have to understand them first. No. To learn about all animals, we have to try to learn about them and understand them and know all of them. And that's the whole point of science and stuff. Or you can just generalize stuff and say God did it, right? That's where this person's going. And yeah, it has something to do with me proving a point and someone avoiding it. No one but yourself claims to, and then there's no punctuation. No one, including myself, claims to know all animals by knowing all animals. That's a all or nothing attitude. Stand for something or fall for anything. Yes, I'm making fun of a specific YouTuber. Chris, that's not the assertion of the person you're talking to. When you can definitely identify that this dried up leaf here came from this plant because it's directly below it. They don't look the same, but they are related to each other, and you can derive from this the information to figure out where they came from. That means you can positively identify the most likely candidate for the source. The skulls and such that people bring up because they're religious fundamentalists, and you're avoiding saying you're a religious person. Saying, you can't prove that. Yes, we can, because you can go find the actual animal, butcher the damn thing, and take the skull out and prove it's the same skull. You can also look at skulls that are very similar. That's how we do these things, in reality, because it works, because it's effective. You can't tell that bullet looks like that, but yes, I can, and yes, you're convicted because your bullet looked like the bullet, from your gun, looks like the bullet that hit the person you murdered. That's how ballistics works. You look for the most likely suspect and the most likely answer, not for the least likely explanation, like a magic bullet explanation when it wasn't a magic bullet, back and to the left. So here we go. Your claim is, we can't know all this. Yes, we can. Well, no one can know everything. No one's making that claim. We're talking about a very narrow thing. In this case, in this video, and in every single case, someone brings up a skull, says, oh, we don't know, it's a mystery. No, it's you don't know, or more likely you do know where that skull came from and what animal it is, and you're desperately trying to get everybody to think that they can't look it up. Don't even bother looking it up. We can't figure it out. There's an orange-shaped pillar cone thing with a hexagonal bottom to it. It must be a symbol of evil. No, it's a traffic cone, and they're all over the place. And telling people we can't possibly figure out what that is BS. This doesn't work anymore. People have access to the internet. They can just look at one picture after another of skulls from front, right, and then oblique. We can identify these things. It took me a half hour one time to figure out one skull. I didn't take any notes. By the way, it turned out to be a short-faced bear's head. You're full of shit, and you know it, and my video had an effect. I don't even know how many downvotes it got. I don't check anymore. I don't look at the stats. I also don't get the little dingy bell from Twinkles the Dinkle Bell from Google+. None of you can affect me anymore. I can just bowl you over by posting facts. But hey, you made it lazy for me the last week, so you guys didn't complain about it. Now that you did, I'm going to make a couple more videos about the subject. How you freaking like that? Anyway, your claim is, keep your theory of evolution. It has so many holes in it, it does not hold water anymore. The theory of evolution, or more accurately, the idea of natural selection and such, is something we can observe now. We can see it happening to viruses and bacteria rapidly, insects not quite as rapidly, and animals within the lifespan of human beings. Cheetahs have evolved. Yes, they actually have. There are evolutionary changes. No, it's not microevolution. It's all part of the process. All evolution is micro and macro. Over a very long period of time, that's macroevolution. Lying to people about whether evolution works or not would be to deny God's will. I don't know whether there's a God or not. I state factually, I don't believe that there's a God because I've seen no proof of it. There isn't any. But if there is a God, God created this entire universe 13 billion years ago, as far as our estimation, and we can probably be really wrong about that. We've been wrong before about the age of the universe. Trust me, we'll be wrong right now. But we're not wrong to say it's more than 12 billion years old. That means if you want to believe there's a God running all this, evolution is part of his plan. Ignoring that means that you're going to say, we can't say evolution, so now we can't treat viruses and bacteria? Chris Roberts, you're an idiot. No one cares whether you live or die. Go to hell. Is that clear enough for you? You're on a planet with 4 billion people. This is an overpopulated planet, or at least it seems like it sometimes. We are at limit almost. And you're not needed to consume my oxygen. I needed to make this video. Please hold your breath for 15 minutes and do us all a favor. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and good luck with that.